All right, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to Final Fantasy IX. So today, I'm very excited to bring you today's video. We're going to be heading into Terra. So we're going to be seeing what Terra looks like with the Moguri mod. I'm very, very excited for that. I don't know about you guys, but... So we're here on the airship. You see, we got Beatrix with the Ultimate Fantasy mod. So here we are, ready to jump into another world. Yes, indeed. And in case you're wondering about Dagger... If you hadn't noticed, Dagger has her long hair. That's just a thing with the Moguri mod, or the Memoria config file. That's a little option you can check. So I just wanted to see, I wanted to turn that on to see what that was like. But anyways, we got our party selected. Not too big of a deal. But as I mentioned in the last video, I'm going to try my best to, I'm going to try and keep Beatrix in the party for the rest of the game as much as I can. Just to keep it, just to stay true to the Ultimate Fantasy mod. So... We have the Ragnarok. We completed the Chocobo Hot and Cold side quest. Did everything we could for the third disc area of the game. So, I put the Ragnarok on her. Because I believe she can only have like 3 or 4 of the swords equipped out of the inventory. You can have Save the Queen, Ragnarok, Excalibur, and Excalibur 2, I believe. So, we got that one on her. Got the overkill party going here. So, let's head on out and head straight into it. I'm excited for this. And just a disclaimer, if you're wondering, I'll be talking to a few people here. You shouldn't be able to hear them, but I have a little stream going here for Discord. So I'll be answering some questions, and you might hear me talking to a couple people here and now. Alright, here we go, guys. I'm excited for this. They'll just give us a little warning here saying this is your last time to turn back. You know, that's a good option if you don't have some of the side quests, or if you feel like you need to get prepared or something, you know. If this is one of your first playthroughs, that is. But we are ready. We're ready to move forward, aren't we? Considering all that we've been through, he is right. This is nothing. I mean, we're going to another world, though. This is one of my favorite parts of the game, honestly. If you follow my playthrough, you probably heard me say that 65 other times about other parts of the game, but this is definitely one of my all-time favorites. Just going to a whole new world. One of the coolest cutscenes, I think, too. I really love this track from the soundtrack. One of my favorites. Who the heck are you? You know, this soundtrack, just for being as old as it is, you know, so atmospheric for its time. I can't talk. So atmospheric, perfect for this point of the game. God, this looks fantastic. This room's just a little blurry. Not gonna nitpick though. I think that's just that spot because it's kind of like a cutscene pre-rendered spot. This looks fantastic. Get that speed boost turned on. You'll be able to fly through these spots, get all the items without wasting a whole lot of time, but I want to keep it slowed down though for the dialogue and the cutscenes and stuff. We'll see how far we can get. I don't want to run this episode too long, so I'm not sure. Hopefully we can do it in one take, but we might have to do 2 parts for this, because this is going to be the final part of the 3rd disc. Hopefully we can make it all in one cut though, from Terra all the way to Pandemonium. This is amazing. We've been playing with the Moguri mod for quite a while now. You know, if you've been following or not, I mean, I've been blown away every new spot that we hit up. I'm just absolutely blown away. Still just amazing to me. You don't remember anything, do you? I'm afraid not. Just an absolute amazing part of the story. Such an awakening for Zidane. His character development takes quite a turn here. This one takes us down. Yep, there we go. We'll do a battle here. These guys have auto protect. I just like to point out the small little changes with the alternate fantasy mod. There's some enemies, and particularly bosses and whatnot, have different attributes, different stat changes, and status inflictions with their attacks. Going forward, as for the bosses coming up next, not really sure how that's going to play out. I don't know what all is new with alternate fantasy mod. So hopefully we're well equipped. We're at a decent level though. I mean, we're 50 to 60 ranging in our party, which is, I'd say it's a little bit above average, not overkill, but because I like to have my party well equipped and well trained to a fairly high level, but I still have to stop myself in this playthrough because I want to keep it down just a little bit, just to experience the full challenge with the AF mod. This is absolutely beautiful. Look at this. It looks really artificial. So different than before. This is where you belong. The place to which you shall offer yourself is here. Kind of a weird thing to say. The place of which you shall offer yourself. I think this is our first time getting real up close and personal with the invincible airship. It's gonna be ours soon, though. You are completely oblivious. Just like a newborn child. This is a very weird, interesting, eye-opening spot for Zidane here. Seeing all these people walk around looking like him. No comment. I think there's a couple items we can head down and get real fast, I believe. Hippo. How nice of him. So there's 2 letters, I think. I believe it's just that letter, I'm not sure. But that's going to be from him to the last Moogle in the next spot. Coming up in Pandemonium. I think we're at like a rank B or rank A just about for our treasure hunting rank, which is right about where we should be. So I think we should be able to attain that rank S by the end of the game. Because if I hadn't mentioned before with the alternate fantasy mod, there's a few additional ways you can obtain the Excalibur 2 now, which is super cool. One being you just get all the treasures, and then by the end point of the game you get to Hades, I believe. And you I don't know if you obtain it at that same spot or if you have to partake in the optional boss fights with Hades, but that's always nice. That's my favorite Moogle right there, Stolskin. Cool little guy. Okay, so we'll head on back over to the left side, where we find a spot for Garnet to rest. Yeah, I still haven't had my webcam kind of dialed in because I have a green screen effect I'm using with OBS, so that's what you're seeing right there. Yeah, there's probably some like flicker in or something in the background, so please excuse that. You see it on my shirt at some points too, because I'm wearing I don't know what I was thinking. I decided to wear a green shirt, you know. So, please pardon that. This is one of the funniest moments when I was a kid playing through this and seeing this line come up from Eco. It's all your fault, Makoto. All your fault she collapsed. Where is your man? What a bimbo. I always got a kick out of that when I was a kid. You start to notice it right about here, too. Kind of getting to him. Attitude and everything. I like how they just now recall every individual scenario that they saw the red light from that ship. But they never mention anything around those events, around those times until now. Definitely quite a bit of re-added dialogue with the alternate fantasy mod in this part of the game, I noticed. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there's definitely a couple extra lines I haven't seen. Go back in and get that item. Yep. Nope. I thought they mentioned something about the crystal or something pertaining to that in this area. Really sure. I see a lot of questions arise on the forums and communities about that. Like, what's up with the crystal? How does that come into play? Because they really don't talk about it a whole lot in this game, even though it kind of is like the source of all life and everything else, you know. Genomes. Restore the people of Terra. That's Garland's objective. We're getting some really weird info out of this gal. Just gets more weirder and weirder. I have a feeling something terrible is going to be happening. She's not too far off, honestly. I mean, I think that feeling will come naturally being in such a place like this. Place to call home. More Quina. That's a stellar idea. That's what I would do. You just like other dummies. No can tell difference. Very discriminative of you, Quina. I feel like she's got a few extra lines here. Awful lot of talking for Quina, I'd say. More than I remember. Like I've said in the previous videos, I've played this game so many times that you learn so much and retain so much, then you also forget so much over time. It's crazy, man. We've been playing this for 20 years. Over 20 years we've been playing this game. I was like 7 years old when this game came out, I think. And my dad picked this up like right when it came out, brand new. Brought it home. I looked at the case, I'm like, what the hell? Because it was like pretty much my first Final Fantasy game. Like I knew of like, you know, Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 8. This was the first one that I owned. Just been hooked. I mean, honestly, it never loses its replay value. This game is amazing. Especially for its time. Such an amazing story. Not really much we have to do here. I was just looking at her stuff real fast. I don't think we're going to be using her for the battles, though. I try to do a good job of keeping up on all their abilities, so everybody should have all their abilities for this part of the game. Looks like she has everything. Perfect. So we don't have to mess with that at the end of the game. Cool. And once again, just pointing out, this is just another example of what's new with the alternate fantasy mod. Auto shell, that's not a normal ability that you would get. I mean, it definitely has its use. There's quite a few bosses in this game with alternate fantasy mod. Their magic is just increased like no other. So auto shell definitely would help if you're using certain characters. All right, where the heart is. It's hard to pick a favorite character, honestly. I mean, of course, I like Zidane. I like his personality and all. You know, he's a quirky guy, but Vivi is just so cool. Really cool little guy. He has so much character development for a little 8-year-old black mage. And I like a ton of the other characters as well. I'd say Amarant is kind of... I think he's the most boring character, Amarant. I mean, he's kind of cool. I feel like he had a lot more potential. They could have put a lot more into that backstory. They give you a couple of those flashbacks, but then it's just like, oh, okay. Got them all figured out. But that's just my opinion. I feel like Beatrix deserves a little bit more backstory as well. Seeing as, especially with the AF mod, as we have her in our party now, that would be nice, but I feel like just for the base story of the game, it would be nice to have a little bit more context. It's such a powerful character, you know. Also, Lanny, that's one that doesn't really come up a whole lot. The bounty hunter. I feel like she'd be pretty cool to like play with a little bit, or at least bump into a little bit more, learn a little bit more about her. She was definitely interesting for the very small portions of the game she played in. think that their minds are just out to lunch for a little while. I don't remember that line, honestly. Correct me if I'm wrong, you know, maybe I just forgot it, but... And it seems like there's definitely... We're in these cutscenes a lot longer than I remember. I think there's a lot more restored dialogue. That's one part of the AF mod is they restored some of the cut dialogue, basically. Some of the stuff that was initially coded in. But they removed some of the lines. So that's what one thing that AF mod sets out to achieve. Anna, that is the no encounter. And honestly, I mean, I don't mind encounters. It's not a thing to me, but as far as it goes for recording, it helps. It's less stuff that I have to cut out of the video, honestly. So that's why I run that. That's with the that's not Moguri mod, that's just with the Steam port, and it's also for, like, you know, the remaster for remastered port for like PS4 and the other whatever other platform it was brought to. So those are just a couple little boosters that were brought back. The speed boost we have right here. What is this one? This is I don't use the other ones. So they're just kind of, that one's like fully heals you, and I think it puts trance on or something like that. And you also have that's a cheater one right there. Max damage. I'm definitely gonna use that. But I feel like speed boost, you know, that doesn't really ruin the immersion or take anything away from the legitimacy of the game. Some parts of the game, they deserve to be sped up a little bit. Steve, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream, buddy. How you doing? Yeah, we're about halfway through Terra right now. We just kind of learned a bunch of things about Zidane's past. Yeah, we're about 40 minutes into it so far, looks like. Like I said, I wanted to try and keep this in one cut, one episode. But there's still a lot more to this part of the game, so I don't know. We might have to cut it into 2 parts. No, I won't cut the stream, no. That just means I'll have to do a little bit more editing. Just to satisfy the OCD, I'm going to put some abilities on him. But we don't use Amaranth a whole lot. I'll grind and I'll train him up a little bit on the 4th disc at the end of the game, but just really not a whole lot of reason to use him. Once again, that's just my opinion. There's really not a whole lot of extra restored lines as well with AF mod with him either. That would be cool if there was. At this point, I'd take what we can get. Yeah, Terra does look amazing with the Moguri mod. Ooh, that's a sinister name. If you say so. Yeah, I think I might split the recording, this part of the game. I think I might split it right about here, because I believe this is where it kind of transitions into Zidane's scenes up and coming here.